The era of pure research and development for autonomous vehicles is ending. In its place, a ruthless phase of commercial deployment has begun, one where the winner is no longer decided by a successful demo, but by the number of cars actually on the street. While Alphabet's Waymo and Baidu's Apollo Go have established clear leads in total ride volume, a secondary conflict is forming right behind them, one that will determine how the rest of this industry actually scales. This structural battleground is defined by two companies taking entirely opposite approaches, WeRide and Amazon Zoox. This graphic shows WeRide's recently announced global footprint, claiming a deployed fleet of over 1,300 autonomous vehicles operating across multiple continents. By contrast, reports surrounding Zoox's initial public rollouts in Las Vegas and San Francisco put their active robotaxi count closer to 50. That gap of over 1,200 vehicles isn't the result of a lack of talent or engineering. It is the direct consequence of two diametrically opposed business strategies. Valuing these companies by simply counting cars is a trap. To understand who is actually winning, you have to deconstruct the specific business models dictating those fleet sizes. Every robotaxi company faces a foundational choice on day one. Where do the actual cars come from? One path is the asset-light strategy. You take an existing, mass-produced conventional car, like this Jaguar, and retrofit it with your proprietary sensors and software. The alternative is vertical integration. You reject traditional car designs and build a vehicle from the ground up, optimized exclusively for autonomous ride-hailing. Building a bespoke vehicle factory requires billions of dollars before the first passenger ever pays a fare, a path Zoox can only take because of immense capital backing from Amazon. The hardware you choose immediately dictates your commercial reality. Retrofitting allows for rapid global expansion, while building from scratch restricts you to a highly controlled, premium local rollout. Investors have to weigh these guaranteed friction points against each other: the sheer speed of an asset-light software model versus total control over the physical passenger ecosystem. WeRide operates essentially as a software supplier. They license their autonomous technology to existing vehicle platforms rather than building their own hardware. Instead of spending millions to acquire users on a standalone app, they distribute those vehicles by plugging directly into established ride-hailing networks like Uber. By letting partners handle the fleet operations and consumer demand, WeRide can execute aggressive cross-border deployments, like securing an early urban Level 4 commercial license in Abu Dhabi. We see this speed again with their recent push into Europe, quickly securing permits to roll out commercial services here in Zurich. The catch to relying on partners for fleet investment and platform support is that WeRide has to split the revenue. Their headline claim of 1,300 vehicles also requires context. That number lumps in lower-margin commercial hardware, like robo-sweepers and autonomous buses, which heavily inflates the true count of pure robotaxis. WeRide's model accepts lower per-ride margins and surrenders the direct passenger relationship, all to prioritize geographic speed and capital efficiency. Zoox rejected the asset-light model completely, opting instead to build a highly controlled walled garden. Their physical innovation is a symmetrical, bidirectional carriage. It has no steering wheel or driver's seat, relying instead on a 4-person, inward-facing campfire seating configuration. Because the vehicle is bidirectional, it never has to perform a 3-point turn or complex reversing maneuver. It simply changes its direction of travel to navigate out of tight urban environments. This custom design translates directly into the revenue model. In Las Vegas, Zoox positions itself within the comfort ride-hailing tier, commanding a 20 to 40% price premium over standard services. The obvious downside is that manufacturing a novel vehicle type creates severe production bottlenecks. You cannot scale a network faster than your assembly line. Zoox also faces a hard regulatory ceiling. Current federal rules cap the production of vehicles without traditional human controls to a maximum of just 2,500 per year. Zoox intentionally sacrificed immediate global scale and absorbed massive capital burn to own a superior closed-loop passenger experience. Evaluating these companies requires shifting focus from total fleet size to the unit economics of scale. The most critical metric for a robotaxi network is fleet density, the ratio of active vehicles to a specific geographic service area. A dense, highly localized fleet minimizes unprofitable deadhead miles, the distance driven without a paying passenger, and drives down user wait times. Conversely, when a fleet is spread too thin across multiple zones, logistical overhead increases, vehicles spend more time idle, and the service becomes unreliable. This forces a difficult financial question. Does a global footprint of 1,300 cars spread across 3 continents actually burn more cash per vehicle than a highly concentrated fleet of 500 purpose-built cars localized in Vegas? Raw geographic expansion is financially dangerous. If a company fails to achieve the local density required to turn a profit on a per-ride basis, a larger fleet simply accelerates cash burn. This chart plots these strategies. Speed to scale is on the x-axis, against platform control and profit margin on the y-axis. WeRide relies on partnerships, plotting fast on scale but lower on control. Zoox's hardware places them slow on scale, but high on control. For investors betting on rapid software deployment across the highest number of cities by 2028, WeRide's asset-light model is a proven, capital-efficient path. But for the long-term purist, if Amazon can stomach the capital burn and successfully lobby to lift manufacturing caps, Zoox's walled garden hardware will yield superior user retention and profit margins at maturity. The headline numbers are a distraction. 1,000 retrofitted vehicles sharing revenue with a partner app represent a completely different asset class than 1,000 proprietary bidirectional pods owned entirely in-house. Align your expectations with the underlying hardware reality.